so spell, I thought this was interesting about spell because the 14th century definition is form words by means of letter or read letter by letter. But in the 12th century, it meant a set of words with supposed magical or occult powers, incantation, or charm. So that definition definitely predates the definition that we're working with now.
So we're working off the 13th century, but just 1 century prior, it had an exclusive magical element to it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. These I didn't know. Nimrod actually means great hunter. Did you know that?
No, I did not. I just knew the name of the great leader.
Okay. Nice actually means foolish, ignorant, needy, weak, and poor.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know that one either. Pollution is a 14th century Latin word that means discharge of semen other than during sex.
Whoa. So what century?
I think that was, let me go back. 14th century.
So in the 14th century, if you're jerking it in your bed, you're polluting your room.
Correct. Correct.
Go ahead, take that one to the bank, boys. Oh wow. Okay, polluting.
Okay, all one. Alone is actually all one. So that's a complete inversion of that word, right? So it actually means unity versus being isolated, right?
Yeah, I'm liking it. Okay.
And then you look at how in our culture aloneness is demonized, right? And people aren't really lauded for being alone or taught that skill, which I think if you don't know how to be alone and be okay with it, you're not a real deal adult.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So always is a word that refers to a temporal condition, right? Forever, but it's actually always. So it's spatial.
Well, but and even despite the fact that it being so, for example, spatial or anything, you have altogether and altogether, ALL, right. And then space together, and then there's AL together. But
right.
So that wouldn't be the case if it's always. Did they just drop the second L and said what?
Well, they dropped the second L and they took it from space to time. And when you think of like however many inversions we're trying to like weed our way through as we wake up to, the giant psyop that we've all been living in for God knows how long, to conflate space and time is another thing that's going to confuse us and make it so that we can't hamper our mastery of this reality construct.
Yes. I can see that. That's interesting, and it took me a long time to really master the difference between altogether and altogether. Mm-hmm. So always, yeah. I'll keep that in the back of my mind too. Okay, let's do one more.
Okay, last one. Escrow. Escrow actually means a scrap, a shred, or a piece.
So why do you hold funds in escrow then?
Maybe because you're screwing people over so that they're only getting a tiny scrap of what they think they're getting, or of the whole piece of the pie.
It could be. I just know that they held our initial deposit for our first studio location in escrow, and it did not collect any interest at all. How dare they? So that's that.
Okay. Yeah. So there it is. I'm not super hip to the realm of finance, but that was my last offering for our segment tonight.
Well, I cannot tell you how much I enjoyed this, and I want to do it again. So, and now that I know that you have a book coming out sometime this year, I have to imagine you timed it so it's out before the holidays. We'll definitely have you back on. We'll do another 16 words. We'll blow everybody's minds all over again. I know people are going to anybody watching this show tonight is never going to look at the word pollution the same way again. So I am happy that that moment of defining moment for the evening. I know that. But
happy to be of service to the Quite Frankly crew.